Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our PLO night with me. I'm Kyyberi, and this is presented by PokerMania.com. There aren't that many active users in the chat room yet. I hope some of our friends will join us. There's a bright light. It's not so bright in here. Somehow in the webcam it's super bright. It's just normal daylight that we have here at 9 p.m. But I'm glad you can see the bright light. Today we are going to play PLO50 again at normal tables, and let's see what happens. I'm going to give a brown color to this German. He's sort of nitty regular, so when I'm searching for the tables in the lobby, I can see that he's not the one who's going to give us a lot of money. The tables in the lobby at this time aren't that great. We have around 5 or 6 tables that are over 35 or 30% players per flop, but I suppose that like in all other PLO nights and sessions, at this time after 9 p.m. all the regulars invade the tables. At this time there's only 1 or 2 regulars in only 1 or 2 tables, but let's see what happens. The Richard Lyon Russian regular who is always playing PLO50 when I have played. I don't know if he plays like 12 hours a day. It's so strange. But he's here today. But we should have some bad players that we can get some money. Here, when this regular checks this flop, I think he might have an overpair. But still, I'm going to bet these pair flops. Of course, right now I don't have a lot of even backdoor equity, but he checks folds, and I'm going to make a note that he just checks folds those pair flops, because I think it's a huge lead. He should c-bet them always. I'm having a referee shirt because there has to be at least one good referee in the house today. I actually talked yesterday with my friend about being a football referee, and I would be such a bad referee in football, because every time there's some controversial call on the field, like penalty kick inside 25 or something, there's going to be 10 to 15 players around the referee, and they are almost pushing him, and they are yelling to the referee. I would give yellow cards to everyone who doesn't shut up there. Because I'm sort of a referee that I would say once that now shut up, and if they keep running their mouth, I would give them yellow cards and red cards and whatever cards I have. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of players left in the field at the end of the match. We are not getting any more tables open, but we are first in the line on many tables, so I suppose we will have open. The tables are far from great. Like last Friday, oh, it was Sunday. Oh, Friday, sorry. Friday the 13th, in our Finnish PLO, we had great tables in the beginning. Here on table 3, unknown guy 3-bets me. I have a really bad hand to call 3-bet, so as this was pretty much a steal and it didn't work out, I'm just happy to fold it. So we have a lot of regulars. Like this table 4 is it's super bad. None of these players is loose enough, so I'm going to ditch this table. Now on the table 3 we flop a wrap around ace 3. We have 13 cards to the nut, so we can definitely bet. We also have the middle pair, gives some equity, and 6 gives us even more outs. And as he's unknown, I'm happy to bet the turn, but when he pots it, he probably has better hands than mine. So I don't think there's any other options but to just call and see what happens on the river. On river we have the straight, so if he bets we just call, and if he checks we make a small bet. And I suppose if he has 2 pairs or even a set he would call me. And if he check raises I would be super surprised. Probably he thinks so on that I'm going to call if he raises. He seems so out of line. Out of 3 hands he's hundreds, so. And he has 2 pairs. Wow. Here's what he has. He has 2 pairs on the turn, so he dark bets a full pot, and on the river he gives me the value, so he's my friend. Yes. And he 3-bets again. He has 3-bet. The first time he had an opportunity, and now again. I suppose he's sort of a double up or quit type of player. He comes to the table with $50 and tries to double up and just gamble a bit. Probably not much thinking about how he should play. He's just smashing the buttons. These are the best opponents you can have on the tables, because they just hand you their money. Sometimes they get super lucky and they win a few stacks, but overall, like here he bets full pot into these, so it's just when you happen to hit the board you just shove against him. But I'm not going to call with this hand, because of course I have the nut flush draw, but ace and 3 low cards gives me a lot of problems against this type of player. If the deuce and 3 would be a little higher, so I have more potential to hit some stronger hands, I would be happy to call. But this is so one-dimensional hand. I have the nut flush draw and that's about it. Let's see how this table works. We have the Skrebatun Russian short stacker who is making some light call downs. And these guys are 50 BB shorties with high VPIP, so I'm not going to steal their blinds. On table 2 I can just check or I can make a small raise. And now some Russian guy limp 3-bets, which is pretty much aces, but I have to pay 2.75 to call, and I think if he has aces he will overplay them. So I can sort of set mine maybe some 10-6 2 pairs. This is decent enough flop. I have pretty much the flush draw alive and I have the gut shot. So I'm going to hit around 1 out of 4 times. So if I pay this 6.5, I have to win a pot of 26, and it's going to be over 20 already. So if I can make him to pay me like $15 on the turn, it's plus EV call for me. Now he probably spots it and I have to fold. Now if he doesn't pot it, it's sort of bad for him. And he pots it, I have to fold. Because I think if the king or heart comes on the river, he might actually fold hit aces if I shove. But every time someone limps and 3-bet, it's so often aces. And it's the horrible way of playing aces, because your hand is face up and you can't even get a low SPR. Now we just wait. If you have any questions about poker, PLO, whatever, feel free to use the chat. I'm more than happy to discuss about things or answer your questions. If you have comments on the hands, please say which table it was, 1-2 on the up or 3-4 on the bottom, and say what was my hand, because we have a 1 minute delay on the stream and about half a minute delay from the servers, so the overall delay is almost 1.5 minutes, up to 2 minutes. So in the time I see your comments, I probably don't remember what hand it was, so I'm going to open the replayer, and if I know what my hand was, it's easy to find the hand, especially for Kauris 84. If you have comments, please say my hand. Or was it someone else who is always making the same thing, commenting about the hands that I have no idea what it was. On table 4 we have a hand that we are going to play no matter what, and I'm going to isolate. One of the options is to call, but I honestly missed that this guy is so shorty. He's going to shove here with pretty much half of his range, and he's blocking our outs pretty nasty, so not much there. On table 2, ace king 8 deuce, it's a pretty hand, but it's pretty trashy in PLO, because when you have the ace and king of same suit, it actually hurts your hand. Here's this Russian maniac. I'm actually going to give him the maniac, because he's, after 9 hands, he's still almost 100 player, playing every hand, raising every opportunity, 3-betting every hand. And now he went broke against just overpair. Wow. Not sure if this guy has reads on the maniac, but it's sort of loose, because this guy 3-bet from the button and the flop is 9-6-8 and he went broke. This is pretty much the only hand that he's ahead, and even against this hand the equity isn't that great, so if I were this only hunch, I would have just shoved pre-flop when you're for sure you're ahead of his range. But when he just calls, I don't see what's the point of calling if he's going to go all in anyway. This is another guy who seems pretty nice. VPIP 66 after 40 hands. Now we have a hand on table 3. Of course we're going to raise, but I suppose this maniac might actually 3-bet us. On table 4 we bet call, and now we get it in. And we have pretty much everything on the flop. On table 3 we're going in, but no one gives us action. And Scrapaton player actually check on the flop and fold on the turn, which is interesting. He donk bets. We have only the middle pair with not much outs to improve, so I'm going to fold to this donk. Oh, I made a call. Whoops. Missed it. He bets the turn, he has the flush. Pretty much always. On table 2 I check back spot control. It's a flop that if he's an aggressive player he's going to raise me often. So I'm going to check and raise turn. And on table 3 we have nothing, and we have 2 people against, and 1 is a calling station. There's no point of even thinking about bluffing. And here he called us with the cut shot and overpair, which is nice. And here we see why this Russian guy has a green color. He goes broke on a monotone board with the turn straight, which is pretty bad. And Shorty 3-bets us. We have ace king 10 8, so I'm actually going to shove, because that way I'm sort of flipping against his range. And now he actually beats me, so we split the pot. Because if I just call, if he has this type of hand, he can bluff me on so many boards, and if I catch anything on the board I have to call. So I think it's easier to just go all in pre-flop, because there's not much flops that I'm happy to fold. Now of course we call when he 3-bet, but he's sort of gambler too. And then we just fold. On table 3, too bad he's a shorty. There's not much value that we flop the top set, but I'm just going to pot the river. If he has a pocket pair, he's going to call me. If he has aces, he might raise me. But if he has nothing, I don't think he's bluffing the river. He's super aggressive pre-flop, but post-flop he hasn't been that aggressive. He makes light calls, but he doesn't bet himself much. And on table 3 we have bad kings, but we have this guy in the hand, so we're going to call. On table 1 we pick up a small pot. And here's Krebatun again, he raises us. My king high is never good here, so I'm going to just call and see if I catch something on the flop. And I think Pollard only probably has aces or kings himself. And I don't think he's bluffing this river often. The only hand he might bluff is a missed flush draw, but he would have bet the flop with the flush draw, I suppose. So he might have aces that he's value betting against me. So I'm going to fold. On table 4 I call with my flush draw. He probably has a lot more than 4 houses. And he didn't have. So I don't have the straight odds to call with my flush draw, but I think he's going to. This German guy says he has quads. I don't believe him, but he probably has something. Here on the turn, let's go to the turn. Dun 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 dun. He bets half a pot, and with my flush draw I have. Actually, I have 3 diamonds in my hand, so I have around under 20%. So to justify the call of 430, I need to win over $20, and I think I have these $9 as implied odds. So after I call, I'm going to win a pot of 26, and that is exactly what happened. So it was nice. I'm going to open up the background table, and I'm going to bluff this flop. I think that still in PLO50 the regulars and recreational players are folding pretty often when someone donk bets these type of flops, and I don't think he ever has a full house here. He probably has an overpair, but when he calls the turn, I'm going to barrel the river. And he calls and he has kings, so wow. The only hand he can beat is pure bluff, and he's making a 50 BB call down. So now I know it, so I don't try that again. I'm just going to value bet him as much as possible. So it might be that he's actually a good regular and he knows that I shouldn't have a lot of full houses when I definitely don't have pocket 7s when I donk that board, but I probably has trip 3s. But he's making a call down, so he thinks I'm 3-barreling with auto bluff, which was right this time. But after this hand, I'm going to get so much value from him, because he probably makes a note out of me that 3 barrels with the pure bluff. So now I don't make it anymore against him, but I am sure he's going to make some light call downs against me in later hands. Here's one nice table. We have 2 green players. I'm going to put it here. Scrapadon is never folding on big blind. So I don't try to even steal his blinds. I'm just going to open with a lot of hands that I can call his 3-bet or shove it pre-flop. I have another table open, so now I have a total of 6 tables open. So if I get any action on the 2 outside tables, I'm going to show them. That way we can get more hands and maybe see more interesting spots. And on table 4, the bad players are sitting out, so we have these regular, tight regular, and shorty loose player. I don't know why this Russian guy plays with 50 BB stacks and VPIP 88. What's the idea? Why not just go to PLO25 if he doesn't want to invest more than $25 per hand? You never know. On table 4, if they check, it's a classic spot to check back. But he dunks for full, but he's dunking often, but when he dunks, he probably has weak ace, flush draw or something, and he's totally dominating our hand. So we have to fold. On table 3, I'm not going to try to barrel this maniac, because he's going to call with any jack, any 9, any flush draw, any overpair. Here on table 2, I don't half a pot. I'm just going to shove. Make my life easier, because if I call, there's going to be so many bad turn cards that complete a straight or flush, because any card over 7 completes a straight, and any flush, so it's over half a deck, that is bad for me. He calls and I turn the quads, so he probably has a draw, so I'm going to give him the free river, and luckily the flush comes. Hope he has a flush and he pays me off. I'm going to think for a while and bet 1750. It's a nice bet sizing. Because he can't have an ace, so he can't have that much. He probably has 7, 8, 9 type of hand, or I don't know, 10, 6 or whatever, king, jack, queen. I could have completed on table 3, didn't think about it, just made the default play. We have an inside wrap on table 4. Against this guy, I'm definitely calling. But when he raises, if either one of them have a flush draw, I only have like 6 outs, 7 outs, so it's not enough. And there's a set and a set, so we would have been in a pretty decent shape. But you can know that. Out of the few hands he has played, this Russian guy, he has lost $1,500, and he's playing with 20 BB stack, so he has lost about 7 buy-ins. Here I'm going to barrel the turn. I really want him to fold his draws, but he doesn't, which sucks. He probably... Now he shoves. He might have queen jack. I don't think he would ever bet here with the missed flush draw, especially now I have the ace of spades. So I'm going to save. I have then, I beat then, but I don't beat a king, so I'm going to fold. He's 37-0. I don't think he's bluffing there on the river. In PLO you actually hit quads quite often, a lot more often than in Hold'em. Because it's, when you have the quads, it's not even a big thing after you have played a few sessions. It's just quads versus quads, it's a little more rare, but even that has happened a lot of times. Here on table 2 we have a cut shot and a backdoor flush draw. I'm going to make the C bet. Because if they doesn't have an ace, I often win the pot straight away. On the outside table we have a hand that we call the turn with 2 pairs, as the opponent is often bluffing, and on the river he makes 1/3 of a pot bet we call, and he was bluffing, but he was lucky to hit pretty much the only card that he can win. So he hit his 3-outer on the river and actually got the pot from us. We have an interesting spot. We made a sort of loose open against passive players, and this guy 3 bets, and now we have 3 pairs, so we're getting it in. If he has aces, it's going to be such a dramatic, but he has aces with the flush draw and he actually beats us. It's kind of sad. We had 40% on the flop because we were splitting with the other player, so we had him in a real bad shape. But he got lucky, so running under EV again. Nothing new. On table 1, in the same time, we call a 4-bet and we missed the flop, so not going to be creative and try to make him fold aces or something. I'm going to donk this flop. It's a 4-way pot, so I don't think anyone is going to bet this without a queen. And no one had anything. Probably he would have gone check, 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 and on the turn we have to bet and hope someone has something, but And on table 4 we have to call and hope we can see a free turn card. It doesn't really help us. So if he bets, we have to just fold. And he actually slow played set of kings to that board. Wow. It's something that I would never do. It backfires so often, and there's not much really that you gain from slow playing, because if he bet, he would have called anyway and the money would have gone in on the turn. So he didn't achieve anything with these slow plays. He just gave a free turn card to Dur and me. So it was really bad check from him. On table 1 we happened to hit nuts against New to Vegas. So it's just we're in position, so it's so easy to play. We just bet as long as we have the best hand, and if we don't have, then we decide what to do. And he folds, which sucks. He has folded only 40%, now 50% on the flops, but he's not calling much. He's 17 and 12, so he doesn't have much in his calling range. This guy is from Greece. I suppose he's going to be a green player, but let's wait some sample size. This one, well, not green. Do we have anyone else? We have aces on table 1, which is nice. I'm going to just call against him and hope for a sort of paired board that he's going to call with his pocket kings or queens. And I'm probably going to call turn, and if the river well, deuce is a good card. I thought about what rivers I could call, but now I'm just making a big bet and hope he has a bluff catcher. Because he might think I have a missed flush draw, so he might call me with 2 pairs over pair. That type of hand. Especially as we know he's likely to make loose calls if he thinks I'm bluffing. I'm going to call here on the turn and probably bluff a lot of rivers. Of course, when I hit my straight, I don't even have to bluff. On the outside table, this guy 3-bets and we hit top pair, open-ender and a lot of stuff, so against the aces we were actually 63% favorite on the flop, and he overplayed his aces. It's a Finnish guy, so I think he made a mistake with his aces. We got the money in a really good shape, but we couldn't hit our hand. It's too bad. We run a lot under EV again. So we have Now in the 3 big pots we have run under EV, so I hope that Kyyberi's 84, 48, 84 said that he wants us to have a downswing in the beginning and upswing in the end. So I hope he's right. We had a sort of downswing in the beginning and hope for the next hour it will be better. Against this player I'm going all in with my overpair because he's such a loose player. Especially when he thinks this long. I don't think he has the nuts that often. And after his race he has only a pot size left, so I think we have the 33% often enough. Here the opponent had just an overpair and a flush draw. We won a nice pot, around $40, so 40 BB win. Now we hit a set in a monotone board. Against this player I'm never folding here, but this one might be more of a problem. And I'm probably going to just check the river. If he bets I'm going to call, because he shouldn't have flush in a way he's playing, and if he value bets straight on the river then so be it. On the before I pick up a flush draw and a wrap here, so I'm going to just pot it on the turn and hope they fold something better. And he had actually the flush, wow. But he bet like 1/4 of a pot on the river, never folding. Here on outside table, this guy is very aggressive. He has 3-bet before hands like A6, King 9, 3 2s. He hasn't 3-bet aces at all. And he's making a 4-bet. So I'm going to suppose his 4-bet range is more than aces. So I'm going to shove. And if he has aces, I have like 35 to 40% equity anyway. So it's not the end of the way. And he happened to have aces. And he's blocking my straight out. But variance favors the stupid ones. If I'm sure or I suppose his range is pretty much ace heavy, then I should have just called. But I would have gone all in on the flop anyway, so it doesn't matter. Here this guy shoves me. The turn didn't help me, but it's a pot sized bet. I'm going to call him, and he have just a gut shot. I thought that he probably has a lot of King XXS hands, and even if he has 2 pairs, I have some outs, and I had 1 blocker to the straight, which of course it helps the decision. On the hand against aces, I missed my pre-flop equity. I had 33% pre-flop because my flush draw was dominated, so against the range I'm doing pretty okay. Range against ace ace XX. And on table 3 I just fold my aces, because probably either one of them has 2 pairs or a lot of equity. And he had 2 pairs. And on table 2 we happen to flop the nuts against this loose player, but he doesn't give us action. Damn. Why do they always fold when I have the hand? And when I don't have, they make a stupid bluff raises. Demo 2 we had a hand to play, but too bad we didn't get any action. I'm not going to bluff this guy. He calls the flop, he probably has something, but he didn't. So he's calling the flop with Jack 7-9, 4 overcards. Gets 2 pairs in the end. Wow, we were so crushing him on the flop, even as we were just bluffing. We have an interesting spot on the outside table. Let's see how it ends up. And I'm sort of happy he folds. I'm going to show you the hand. You can see his stats, but he's donking. Now his donk percent is 50. It was like 45 before this hand, so he's donk betting a lot of flops. And I open pre-flop and he donks this flop, and he has been donking like half of the flops that he's playing. So I'm pretty sure his donk range has something like weak ace or flush draws or something like that. And of course we don't have much. We have some backdoors and we have a cut shot. But I think that with raise I can definitely represent aces, and it's hard for him to continue. I can force him to fold his hand on any pair turn. The mistake is that I made it too small of a raise. I should have raised to something like, when he bets something like 260, I should, or 250, I should raise to around $6 or so, 650. So the raise is too small. He's never folding anything. Turn gives me the open-ender and the backdoor flush draw, and I have the blockers to the straight, which is pretty important thing. He probably doesn't have a straight because I have 2 tens in my hand. So I bet the turn in a pretty big bet sizing, and if he calls I'm going to pretty much bet a lot of the non-spade reverse unless I improve my hand. But he folds, which is nice. On the table 4 we bet the flop with 2 pairs, turn completes as flush and river goes check check. This is a spot that some players are sort of disappointed. They somewhat get frustrated that oh, the fish hit his flush and oh bummer, I lost the hand. and they get all the negative feelings out of this hand. I think it's a excellent outcome for us. When we bet, we had a better hand on the turn. When he had a better hand, it goes check, check. We didn't lose any money, and we had a free shot to our 4-outer. Now we had only 3 outs, but normally we have 4 outs, so we can see the river for free, and on the river it's turn. He didn't get any value. We don't even have to bluff catch or something, so I think it went perfectly. This time he won, but overall he's going to lose money with that line. So even though we lost the hand, we just should be happy. It went great. Fast Eddie folds half of his big blind, so I'm going to definitely open any 4. And now he goes, and we have middle pair and cut shot and a lot of backdoor stuff. And he raises. He hasn't raised that often. Of course, this is just a check raise. It's a raise for c-bet actually. But I think he has a lot of overpair flush draws, 2 pairs, draws, all kind of stuff. So I have only a cut shot, 3 outs to the cut shot, and it's not even to the nuts. So I'm just happy to fold. And again, against normal players, I'm opening pretty much all of my buttons until there's loose players or some super aggressive players. But if I don't have any reason to adjust, I'm not going to. And now I get a 3-bet. It's his first one, and he's shorty, so I'm going to fold. One of the outside tables died. So we have 5 tables. I see that there's around 15 viewers on the stream, and we have not many in the chat room. It would be nice if all of you could join us in the chat. I was about to ask that, how have you felt for these PLO nights? Have you enjoyed these English nights or Finnish nights or both? And if you have any ideas to improve these nights, what could be fun, what could be entertaining and educational? I'm open to all ideas, and we have the possibility to do pretty much what we want here, because we don't have any big corporations behind us telling us what we need to do. We can do what we want to do. But now we have only 4 users in the chat, and they aren't that chatty, so I'm not going to even ask it. On table 3 we open because we have a hand that can hit, and against this player, of course, I didn't see that he has only $4 behind him, so it was a stupid bad raise, and serves right that we lost the pot. I thought he's still around $25 or something. My bad. On table 4 we can get a free shot to the river, and we actually hit 2 pairs on the river, so we might even win the pot, and we do. On table 1 Richard 3-bets, and we have a really bad hand, so just going to fold it. It was a steal and it didn't work out. Richard is not going to exploit our loose openings from the blinds because he folds his small blinds 86% of the time, he folds his big blind 82% of the time, and he 3-bets out of position only 4% of the time. So he's pretty much going to fold 85% of his blinds. So when he's on the blinds, I'm going to open any 4 cards and just print money. Here on table 4, not sure if I want to. I'm going to make a small raise back to him. I might do this as a bluff, and he shoves. He probably has a 9. But I'm not able to fold trips, and if I'm not folding, it's same to just shove it. And let's see what he has. And he has the 9 also, and we happen to hit the jackpot on the turn. We got lucky again. We had only 38% on the flop, but it's when you have trips versus trips between regulars, it's sort of a setup because he might raise me with a lot of hands, and I might make a small raise against him as a bluff, as an overpair. There's no way I'm going to fold my trips, and if I just call his raise, I don't think he's putting money in with just an overpair anymore. And then we call his 3-bet, and we happen to hit the top 2, which I'm just going to shove. And he sucked out on us, and we hit the river, so we are so lucky today. I'm sorry I complained about running under river in the beginning. We have now gone over the roof in running good. So Kauris, he was right. On table 1 we have 2 pairs, and now we pick up a flush draw, so I'm just going to bet. Another option is to do something like check raise, but let's just bet. And the river I'm going to check call, because he's an aggressive pair. He might bluff me. He shouldn't have a straight there, and he shouldn't have a set that often, and he have only the straight draw, which makes sense. On table 3 we turn the full house. I hope he has a flush and he pays us off. And he calls, which is nice, because he probably has something, and that something is probably going to go to river. I'm just going to pot it because he is such a call happy. On table 4 I have a shorty and I have another shorty. Not sure if I should just... Oh, he's so tight. But I opened... I'm going to shove it because I have the top pair. And he has ace-9, so I'm not going to have that many outs, and he won the pot. But if I just call, then I should think that my ace is good enough. So on the turn I need to call a little more, and it reads out that when he's shorty I'm just going to go all in so often, so I'm going to shove the flop anyway. His donking percentage is so high that I think he has a lot more than 2 pairs. And we split the pot with the pair of eights. Yay. Here on table 2 against the shorty, I'm going all in with my flush draw. If he has ace, which he does, it kinda sucks. But we hit the flush on both deals, and he just happened to hit the full house. Now on table 1, he raises me smallish, and now I have the under trips. I'm just going to call. Hope I hit the 7 of hearts on the river. It would be nice. And when he checks, I'm going to make a small bet. Let's see what he does. If he raises, I'm going to fold. Because the only hand I can beat is pretty much ace-8, and I don't think he ever check raises turn. It really looks like he might have the pocket tens or 8-10, which equals to nuts. So I'm going to fold my trips here. Another option is to check back and call his river bet, but I think I get a lot more value by checking myself, betting myself, because if he has trip 8s, he's just going to call. And I have the straight, I beat his ace-8. On table 4, we get all in. I hope this Israeli guy calls so I can shove over this guy. But he doesn't, so we get all in against some random hand. It's sort of 50-50 flip. And let's see if we can dodge all the bullets. We couldn't. We were actually 58% favorite, which is nice. Yeah, forum has been quiet. People are probably concentrating on Midsummer Festival. No one is playing poker anymore. And then we just wait for the decent hands. We hit 2 pairs against the Russian maniac. And he donks. We have a cut shot, so I'm going to just shove it. He has been playing so loosely that let's see what he has. And he has, wow, he has a set. And he, with the short stack, he slow played it. Wow. Good for him. On the outside table, we had a board where we open and reach a 3-bet as we call. On the flop, it goes check, check. On the turn, we bet, he calls. Which is nice, we had the straight. And on the river, it goes check, check, so he won the pot, but on the turn when we had a better hand, we got the money in. And he didn't have that many outs. So, too bad he hit his flush. Nothing going on the tables. So we just have to wait. Nice that we gave money to this Russian guy. Now he's giving out for everyone else. Hopefully he wins this part. But I don't suppose, well, I think that this guy has a made hand, and when he bets the river he definitely has it. Then we get aces, let's see what happens. I'm going to open, I'm going to shove any flop against this guy. We have a cut shot and overpair with SPR3, so probably getting it in. I'm going to bet $4, so if he shoves, it opens another betting round. So if this guy calls, I can shove over him. And the flush comes there, which kind of sucks, but he has only $5 behind him, so we have to get it in, and he has the flush, which kind of sucks, but he didn't have the odds on the flop to call for the flush, so he's just taking our money over and over again. And then what I decide to call the flop with my top pair and cut shot and see what happens on the turn. And on the turn he checks, so I'm going to give him opportunity to bet the river, because I don't think he's going to call me with much of a worse hand. He had aces, so he might have called me actually on the river. Not sure. There's nothing he can beat on the river. So this way he had at least a chance to make a bad bet on the river. Double pair, double suited hand. We 3-bet. And if he 4-bets, it's not a problem. We call and stack him off on the flop. On table 4 we have the 3% 3 overcard, so we are stacking off against anyone. But we didn't get any action. Then we have a premium hand on the next hand, which is great. But we don't get any action. Bummer. Then we have an open-ender. I'm going to call, because I think I have a lot of implied odds against him when he bets the pot. And now he puts it again. Now I don't have that many implied odds because flush draw open, so I'm going to fold. But I have my 8 outs to the nuts pretty much against him on the flop. So if I hit one of those 8 outs, he's never folding the turn. So I can get a huge implied odds against him. And on table 4, we totally missed the flop, but he donk bets. And he has donk bet 20% of the time. So I'm just going to raise him. And he folded. We haven't raised him a lot, so at this point I can raise him a lot. And when someone donks 20%, it means that they are donking with a lot more than just strong hands like sets. And it's a draw, it's a try board. King 6-4 rainbow. He knows I don't hit the board often, so he's going to donk this a lot of times. So as we don't have that much history, I can raise and make him fold. But if I keep doing that all the time, then at some point he's going to adjust. On the outside table, the Richard Lyon got a free donation on the river when he had the nuts. And we just continue to hit nice flops and small raise, like a bluff raise. Let's hope he catches the bait and does something stupid here. And he folds, which sucks. I'm going to set mine here with my jacks, because there's 2 aggressive players. He's a call happy and he's aggressive player here. We might overplay some hands. So if I hit the set of jacks, I should have a lot of value. But no one bet the flop, so no one probably has ace, so I'm going to bet, and probably queens will fold. Pocket kings might call me, which kinda sucks, but I have jacks and some 5s as my out. And he calls me, which sucks. The flush comes there, so just going to check fold the river. And we check, and we actually won the pot, which is interesting. He had 8-4. So he had 2 pairs when there's an overpair, so I don't know if he understood that his hand is dead against a pair of 9s or higher. On table 2 we're going to call his 3-bet and hope we can get a free turn, which we don't. We just have to fold. We have only a cut shot. And on the outside table, we are playing 200 pp's deep with Richard, who is not afraid to put the stack in, so I'm going to leave. I don't want to be sitting right to him with 200 pp's. And here's Setmace donking again. But there's a call, and it's a 3-way pot with this fish, so I think now when he donks, he probably has a hand. And this Tom did, he had aces, which is pretty much the only hand that I am afraid of. And he happened to have it. It's funny that how often you think that when you have pocket kings and you make a call down, the opponent has aces. But our memory is so selective that we forget the times that when opponent has air or pocket queens. I have totally lost the track of how we are doing in the session. Are we winning or losing? Because we had so many flips in the beginning. I have no idea what the situation is or what it is in EV, but I don't know. It's nice to see in about half an hour what the situation is. There would be the football all-in shootout today, but I didn't know that Mexico and Brazil are going to play tie, so I'm not in that free roll. I'm going to see how many. Oh, it has been played already. Do I see it in here? Brazil, Mexico, there's only 1,000 players, which is pretty sick. Here's the lobby. Everyone gets at least $2.50. And some of them, you don't have to win that many flips that you get over $20. So, like, actually Arnimet has said that the best value in that promotion is to go for tie, because there's going to be so much smaller field. Like when the favorite team wins, there's going to be around 20,000 participants or 16,000. I'm not sure if I should shove here against this guy. He's super aggressive. He might have jacks, he might have kings, he probably has king jack or a draw. And I have seen him overplay over pairs. And when I don't, he probably puts me on a draw. So I'm going to shove, and if he has set, it looks pretty stupid, but he probably has. No, he has only a draw, so we have some outs, and he hits both of his. Well, the turn we are still ahead, but we were 56 favorite on the flop. We'll get something back on table 1, which is nice. But again, we run quite a bit under EV, and he didn't have a top set. I am not sure if I'm grilling my burgers. I'm definitely going to grill something. Not sure what I'm going to grill. Left to be seen. And then we wait that something happens. This has been actually quite a good session. We have had so many all-ins, we have had so many big pots, and it's interesting. Piaki is asking if I'm destroying the games. No, I'm not. I'm lost 4 flips already. There has been some good spots, there has been some bad spots. I have sucked out twice or 3 times with bad equity. Here on outside table we have interesting situation. Kai 3 bets, we can 4 bet to $18, so the pot would be $40, and we have SPR of 2. I'm going to make it. SPR 2 is sort of borderline. Of course, this flop sucks. It really does, because he can't have anything. It doesn't matter what do, I don't get any payment, so I'm going to get at least something out of him. It's just when I 4-bet, I have always at least one ace in my hand, so not sure if he's going to pay me anything. He doesn't. Here we have, after 3-bet, we flop the open-ender and the flush draw, so I'm getting it in. I suppose I have some folding equity, which I do. After a 4-bet, it sucks to flop quads. It's the second quads today with aces, so it should be fun, but it sucks because the only hand that I can get any value is pocket jacks. And that's all. And as we saw, he wouldn't pay even a few dollars. And on table 4 we totally missed the flop, and there's 2 players, so I'm not going to put any more money. And we have big stacks on the table, so one might think we are crossing the tables, but we are not. What's the overall situation? If we are winning or losing, I have no idea. We might be up 200, we might be down 200. I honestly have no idea where we are. Richard is folding half of his big blinds, so when he's folding half of his big blinds, we get a really nice risk to reward ratio. So I'm going to open any 4, and if he 4-bets, I'm just going to fold my trashy hands. On table 4 we flop the pretty much nuts, don't get any action. Sucks. We have a great hand again, we have an avalanche of great hands. And here's the aggressive way, we are 200 pp's deep, so it might be an interesting situation. I'm going to c-bet this pretty big. Well, it's a half a pot, it's not that of a big. I should have 3-bet bigger. And I think he's going to bet this turn pretty often with a lot of draws. So I'm going to call him and hope the river isn't the spade. But it's a bad bluff card for him, because when I call the turn, I probably has a big wrap or a flush draw or both. So if he bets the river, I think he has the flush often. And he checks and we win the pot. And he had pretty much air, he floated me on the flop. And it's nice that the hand went to showdown. He might stop floating us and makes us life a little easier. Well, if I check that flop, he knows I have quads. Because if I don't have aces, I'm c-betting that flop always. So it's a funny spot. No matter what we do, it seems that we just have the aces. If I check the flop, it's the most obvious way of telling him we have the quad. So I'm going to bet a small bet that might even look some kind of king-king type of hand. But if I check, he's never putting any more money unless he hits something straight or flush, and we can get $3 out of him or something. He's not calling, but he's not definitely calling if we check the flop. On table 3 I have the nut flush draw, which I'm going to just bet. And he's not an aggressive river player. And I suppose he hit his hand on the river, yes. So we've got a lot of money in with the better hand. Kinda sucks. There's so many pots where we have bet the turn with the best hand and opponent has hit his 3 or 4 outer on the river. And this British guy probably had enough on this table, not sure. Maybe he doesn't want to play 300 pp's deep with me, or he's just having a break, don't know. And on table 2 I'm just keep betting. Queen is not the greatest card. I don't think there's much value in betting the river, so I check behind. And he has a straight on the turn, he's low played. On table 4 I had a top pair, top kicker and a wrap, so I'm going to bet it. Both of them are 43-11 type of players, so I don't want the flop go check check when I have that strong of a hand. We have overpair against this Greece guy. This is something strange. We have a guy from Greece that has folded to c-bet 100%. Don't think I have ever seen it. But now he calls. Turn is sucky card. It completes a straight. If he has a flush draw, he might have ace high flush draw. So I'm just going to check. And if he bets, I'm probably going to fold the river. And he had an ace. He actually had a queen and he had 7-4. He had all kind of stuff. So it's great. We got the money in with the best hand, and when he had a best hand, he didn't put any money in the pot, so it's a perfect situation. Here on table 2, I'm going to semi-bluff this flop. If he calls, I have a lot of outs on the turn. When he calls, I'm just going to get the free river. And when he bets the river, he has a lot of missed draws. Of course, any queen or overpair beats me, but I think he has more of a missed draws than flushes or high cards. So I'm going to bluff catch him. And he had a double suited hand that got the backdoor flush. But when he bets half a pot, he needs to be bluffing 1 out of 3 times, so I definitely think when all the draws on the flop miss by the river. And his river aggression was pretty high. Table 4 against pretty unknown. I'm going to make a half a pot c-bet on the flop, and luckily I hit something on the turn, so on the turn I'm value betting my top pair. And on the river, if he bets, I'm going to fold, because I have bet flop and turn. He's never bluffing me. So I'm going to check behind, and he turns open-ender. So we have a nice 2 streets of value. And when he limps on the button and calls with those type of hands, I'm going to give him the green color. He's probably going to give me a lot of money in the long run. And he makes a half a pot c-bet, I call, but when this guy raises, he probably has a strong hand, so I'm going to fold my top pair. This Russian guy is still at the table, and probably now he's under $10. We're going to double him up. On table 4, the button is short stack, so I don't want to 3-bet him without the showdown value hand. But when I raise, his stack is so small that on the flop the money is going anyway in if I even bluff the flop. And here seeing things raises me, his 3-bet out of position is aces, tens, kings, queens. Out of position aces, aces, queen, aces, and run down. Our hand is playing pretty poorly against that range, so I'm giving up. And I think we're going to play 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not going to open any more tables, so let's see what happens here. Here I'm going to make a small isolation 3-bet. I have 3 Broadway cards, which is sort of nice. And here B-trade, don't. I have the nut flush draw and the cut shot and the top pair and what else. So I'm going to just shove and, well, he has the full house on the turn, so I'm not doing that great. So we doubled him up, as I thought. We were actually slightly ahead on the flop, despite his 2 pairs. On table 2 I check back the turn, because the ace, he might have the flush draw with an ace. And against any other draw we are so much ahead. And on the river we spike the nuts. It's always easy to play river with the nuts, and he's shorty, so I'm going to wait for a while. And then I'm just going to shove it and hope he calls me with the set, or, well, not much else he can call me with. And he thinks so. I have won the pot. It's just if he gives me value or not. I make a c-bet against this Russian guy. He has folded to these c-bets quite often. And on the river, I want him to fold his draws. But he had a pocket tens. I don't know if he called me with his pocket tens or his 7-5 2 pairs, which was a dead hand. Not sure, but again, it has been a pretty sick table. We have been giving money to this Russian donkey, and he has been giving money to everyone else. So that's the way it goes. And now he donks again, so just going to fold. And now this Finnish guy checks flop and raises turn. Such a strange line. I'm going to shove these 2 pairs. He probably has set of jacks, which he does, so I have to check out. That's the only hand that makes sense, and the fact that he is from Finland and the flop goes check check, even as I was the pre-flop raiser, he knows that when I check the flop, he knows that I don't have much of a hand, so he can raise me on the turn with a lot of his draws, because he knows I pretty much shouldn't have a hand. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not a straight. There's not much folding equity on the turn, and I have so many outs. I'm going to check. If someone bets, I can easily call, but we have the nuts on the river. I suppose you have heard it before, and try to get some value. We have nuts on table 2 too, and now the Finnish guy shoves on us. Do we have the nuts? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, we do. And we split the pot. And we have the nuts here on table 3 set might call us. He probably has hand that's never calling, or he has a bluff catcher, so I bet big on the river. Here the pocket jacks is the only hand that makes sense for him, and it's a spot where he can play against my range with one of his draws. And I have one jack in my hand, so I'm probably often enough in a decent shape. And I have the flush draw if he happened to have the set, which he now does. So we have sucked out pretty badly today. Sorry for all the players that we have sucked out on. Here we have the guy who has sort of calling station. I'm going to value bet my 10 high flush for 3 streets. And this guy don't. His turn aggression is 12%. Wow. Don't think I can fold the turn yet, so I'm going to call. And if he keeps betting on the river, I'm going to fold. The flush comes there, which sucks. And he paid me off on table 2 with the set, which is nice. Welcome, Mr. Green. And here on table 3, he didn't have anything, and this guy check raises me on the flop. I have top 2. I'm going to get it in. I block on the top set, so. And we are sort of splitting the pot. I have king as an out. He has an 8 as an out, so it's pretty much 50-50. I had 54%, which is great. I'm going to go with my overpair and backdoors. At least the flop on table 1. On turn I get pretty nice card, and it doesn't complete the straight, so I can bet for value. And on river, straight draws comes there. He's not paying with a lot of worse hands, so I'm going to check back. And he had flush draw and a cut shot. And we pick up a pot, which is nice. I'm going to make a note out of this guy. It's always nice to know when people shove top 2 pairs, because it's when you know what kind of range people shove on those sort of dry boards, it helps you on your decision making. Like when you see they just call with top 2 there, you know when they raise they probably has a hand. Let's see if I can make the nuts here on table 1. I think I'm going to barrel just 3 streets if I don't make my straight. If the turn doesn't complete any straight, I can represent almost any hand. But I make the nuts on the river. It's the day of nuts. And he has a board size bet left and he's thinking, so luckily we can stack him off. And yeah, it's a split pot. Damn. So now I'm sort of like a tournament player. When I have the nuts, I get angry because it's a split pot. It's like tournament players, they are always angry. If they don't win the tournament, they are angry because they didn't win it. And when they do win, they are angry because the prize is so small. They wanted to have a bigger prize from the top position. So I think the clock is close to 11 and there's not much going on. So on table 4 this would be pretty nice situation. We are 200 pp's deep with the calling station. It's so nice. But I think it's sort of time to close the client, so I'm going to put here that sit out on next big blind. We have a hand on table 2, of course we're going to play it. We're going to hit the set of kings. One option is to 3-bet because this guy is so short stack. But the only bigger stack is in position to us, so it's fine this way. And we have a cut shot and overpair, so I'm going to shove this flop. And we pick up a flush draw on the turn, which is even better. So we bet the turn pretty much for value. We have the overpair and it kinda sucks. Not sure if it's better to shove or check fold or check call, because he might bluff us. Luckily he didn't. He had a set. Wow. What did he call us on the flop? With 8. Yeah, green player. What a catch. So we are playing against him again. We have top pair. I'm going to value bet my top pair against this guy. 77-0. And he didn't hit that board. Strange. As we have this calling station, I would have opened even this hand, but when there's open before me, I'm just going to fold. And now we have to wait a couple of hands and we can see how our session was. If anyone wants to guess if we are even winning or losing, now it's your time. I have no idea. I would suppose we are winning, but we also lost quite many buy-ins in the beginning when our best hand didn't hold up. So it's one of those sessions that in the end you have big stacks on all tables, but it might be that you're not even winning. And it's interesting to see where our EV line is, because on some parts we run under EV and on some parts we made a nasty suckouts. And we got our money in a bad shape a lot of times. Might be the funniest session ever on our PLO night. I don't remember this crazy ever. Normally we have 1 or 2 all-ins, but now we had like 10 all-ins and a lot of suckouts and stuff. Now I know the results, you don't. You still have time to guess what the actual result was from this session. And the last hand we are not going to play. Next week we're having the English PLO night. Normally on Friday we don't have our Finnish PLO night because we have the Midsummer Festival. I'm making burgers. The PLO night in Finnish has been moved to Sunday evening. So it's interesting to see if anyone is awake at Sunday. So next week we have PLO on Wednesday and Friday, and this week Sunday too. So we have PLO in 3 days apart. I'm going to take this table away because we are not playing there. Here are the results from this session, and this EV line is quite nice. This is something that I'm sort of happy. When the EV line doesn't drop down, it's usually meaning you're having a quite good session. And here we lost a couple of flips. This is a nasty one. EV goes really up and winnings go really down. But then we got super lucky, and from here to here, this is sick. Over $200, and the EV is almost in straight line. So between these hands we run $200 over EV. So we got super lucky there, and then we just went up and down and ended up winning $73.71, which is nice. A little over EV, but it doesn't matter. So a winning session again, it's nice, and like Kauris84 said, run bad in the beginning and run good in the end. Wow. I hope for the next session you would say something different, but it's not nice to have a run down in the, or run bad in the beginning. Anyway, this was a PLO night with me, Kyyberi. If you're watching this video, probably on YouTube, please join our community in pokermania.com. We have our English forum, English community, and a lot of good free coachings almost every day of the week. So please join us, join the chat, and come to talk with me and the other coaches. This is everything that I have to offer you this Wednesday. See you on Sunday on the Finnish channel, and next week on Wednesday in the Finnish channel. Thanks and bye bye. Have a safe Midsummer Festival. If you are in Finland, please don't drown.